Gareth Gordon reporting. Now, at a time when politicians are being called upon to raise revenues to try to make up for spending cuts, why, you might wonder, is one MLA calling for a rates exemption for amateur sports clubs? The Sinn Féin MLA Daithí Mackay is bringing a private members' bill to the Assembly this week, and he's with me now. Welcome to the programme. You're proposing making amateur sports clubs exempt from these rates. Give us an idea of what a saving might be for a typical club.
Well, I know of a number of small rural clubs in my own constituency of Northampton that would save a few £100, some a few £1,000. So this is a bill that is simple. It is not going to lead to considerable cost to the department, to the executive or to local councils, but it is effective. And from what we have found out from the consultation, where over 1,300 responses were sent to myself, sport clubs view the rates exemption as the main support the government can provide to them.
But if it's only a few £100, it doesn't really make a huge difference. The issue surely is with the big sports clubs, where the savings are potentially very significant, and that would be good for the sports clubs, but because those savings are significant, that would have an impact on the budget that the executive would receive.
Well, that is why we have framed it within the definition of community and amateur sports clubs. So that is a fixed definition that is already used by Revenue and Customs. And the fact of the matter is that the clubs that we are talking about are in the main small clubs that are facing...
What does that mean? What's a small club mean?
Well, a small club is, for example, a GAA club, a amateur boxing club, a soccer team that plays on Saturday mornings.
So small membership?
Small membership, but you know what this is about is ensuring that it does not apply to the more professional teams, but like I say, is within the fixed frame of community and amateur sports clubs.
Right. Have you any idea of the number of sports clubs that would be impacted by this proposed legislation and the kind of savings you would be making for them on their behalf?
Well, figures from the Department of Finance and Personnel have been sketchy, to say the least, and that is for a number of reasons, a number of genuine reasons. But the figures that we got for 2013 revealed that if we were to apply this relief to community and amateur sports clubs, it would be a cost of £420,000. So it is very small pie when taken into the context of the wider budget that we have at Stormont, and I believe...
So £420,000 less that Arlene Foster would have to play with in her budget next year. That's the kind of... Yes. So you're talking about just about £500,000.
£500,000. Now that may change over time. The figures are from 2013. That is the latest that we were able to receive. But it will
make not insignificant, is it?
Well, in terms of the bigger budget and in terms of what the sport clubs are saying about the supports that they would wish to see, they believe that this will have the greatest impact in the club. They believe that this money that is being freed up can be used to reinvest in our young people, in equipment, and then to actually buying and providing further facilities, further halls, further stands for clubs.
Okay, but it comes at a time when the discussion at Stormont is moving towards the issue of revenue raising, about bringing in additional monies for a cash-strapped executive. And at the time that debate is now beginning to get wings, you are suggesting a way in which you would further reduce revenue raised by the executive. You can see how people might raise their eyebrows.
Yeah, well, we need to be smart about what we do with our money as well. And I think all political parties need to be conscious of the fact that we have a huge financial pressure in terms of obesity, in terms of diabetes coming down the road, and that doesn't mean pumping more and more money into the Department of Health. That means giving more money to the bodies that actually prevent those issues becoming a financial pressure in the first place, which are sports clubs in our communities.
And of course, I suppose some people who know the details of this may think that these sports clubs are already, those registered community sports clubs that you're talking about, already have a pretty good deal because they only pay 20% of their rates bill. They already get an 80% exemption. You want them to have a 100% exemption. I mean, in the current economic climate, might they not thank their lucky stars, frankly, for the situation that they're in, which is an awful lot better than the situation an awful lot of businesses are in right across Northern Ireland, who say they're going to the wall because of a rising rates bill?
Well, at the moment, if you pardon the pun, the North is at the bottom of the league when it comes to this area of rates exemption. If you look down south, there's a complete exemption from clubs paying any charges. If you look to England, Scotland and Wales, they have the 80% exemption, plus they have the option of councils giving them 100% exemption. We do not have any of that at this moment in time. And of course, because businesses have suffered there's less money going from the business community towards local sports clubs, so they are losing out in terms of sponsorship, and they need to help, need assistance in plugging that hole.
Is this a smart political move on your part within Sinn Féin to do this, to find favour with your own political constituency? I mean, you mentioned their GAA clubs and boxing clubs. Would it have the same impact on cricket clubs, rugby clubs, football clubs potentially, rowing clubs?
In terms of the consultation response, we received dozens and dozens of different sporting codes responded to that particular consultation. So this will apply to bowls, this will apply to badminton, gymnastics, a wide variety of clubs, not just the 3 or 4 clubs type of sports that come to mind when you think of sports such as GAA, soccer, cricket, etc. So this will have a wide impact, and it will only cost a small amount of money.
Okay, well, we'll keep an eye on it.